Hello again and welcome. Today I'm looking at the grade 3 C3 piece, The Quiet of the Night. And this is a very calm piece, so we've got to get used to the tempo, 80 crotchet beats in the bar, so it's moving along like that. And there's quite a lot of pedal involved in this piece. So if you are practicing at home and you don't have a piano and you're using a keyboard and you haven't got a pedal, this might not be such a good choice of piece to do unless you can practice on a piano. So I'm going to play it for you now, and then we'll talk about how to go about learning it and the things to watch out for. Here we go then. So that's our tempo. Just double check. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So going from the beginning, we're going to be careful to involve the pedal for 2 bars at a time when we play this. So it can be a bit off-putting if you're not used to pedalling over 2 bars. It can sound a bit blurry, and then we get to bar 3 and bar 4. And all of that in one pedal sounds a little bit much, doesn't it? But that's what's written, so that's what we have to do. That's the effect that's required. And then we carry on, again, focusing on pedalling. All of that in one pedal. And finally, new pedal here in bar 7. We have one bar there where we just kind of come off at bar 8. We come off the pedal for that crescendo. So really, you know, all you've got to get your head around is learning the melody, which is quite straightforward. And in case you're wondering what that very high note is in bar 3, it is an E, the 3rd note in bar 3. In case your upper note reading is a bit wobbly, that's an E. Also remember that the B flat that was at the beginning of bar 3 is also at the end of bar 3. So don't play, you know, I know that might sound obvious to some of you, but just be careful there. So we've got to be careful in bar 11 because we've got that scale run. And just be careful on the notes because we've got B flat there, C sharp, F sharp of course there. On the way down, we've still got the C sharp and the B flat. Last 2 notes in bar 11. Just remember they're there. So. And of course, we're pedaling through that bar, so it sounds a bit odd, but it's right. As I carry on, then the crescendo, this is the big section now, forte, bar 17. So I think what we should do now, let's look at the intense section, the loud part of the piece now. at bar 17, we're going to lead in from the previous bar, that crescendo. So the thing you're noticing here is that there's no pedalling at this point, just playing it without pedal. The left-hand fingering you can do slightly differently. I mean, if you're watching the video carefully, you'll see that my fingers are slightly different what I'm using, but it doesn't really matter as long as you're comfortable with what you're doing. You can do what's suggested in the book, which is usually a good rule of thumb, or occasionally you might see me doing something different and you prefer that. As long as it's comfortable to play and it works for you, I don't see any problem with that. You're not going to get marked wrongly for doing different fingering, as long as you're playing it properly. So the rhythm here, if you think of it as elephant T, that's the rhythm of the triplet there. Ba, 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 ba. And in fact, that triplet first occurs in the right hand in bar 4, at the end of bar 4. So again, if you've played the bar before that, 1, 2, 3, elephant. If you think of it like that, so this, we could call it the elephant section. So we've got that sound at the beginning, da, 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 2, 1, 2, elephant T. On it goes like that. So picking it up from bar 21. And then we reach the section at peace at bar 25, where suddenly it's starting to get a bit more relaxed sounding. The pedal is back. And then we have the crossing over. We have the crossing over in bar 26 where the left hand, LH, goes to the A above the right hand part. So I'm playing the E in the right hand, the left hand's playing the A above. So it might look confusing at first. So that actual bar, bar 26, is left hand A, and then the right hand is actually lower, playing the E, and the same again. And I think that's the only time the left hand crosses over until we get to the very end of the piece. So I'm going to go from bar 25. Yeah. So as we look at the final section of this piece, we're going from the section that says at peace, which is bar 25. There's a little trick I'm going to show you. What we've got is the pedal going down, and then the left hand's crossing over the right onto the A. So be careful about that in bar 26. Then we've got to travel down to C sharp in the left hand, which is a bit of an awkward moment. So one thing you could do in bar 26 is just slow down slightly. So if I go from bar 25, and that serves as a nice linking bar into the next section, really. You know, we're fully into the last bit then. Bar 27 picks up from here then. Pedaling stays down. New pedal coming. This bit here, you've got to be very careful not to play it too quickly unless you can control those notes. So if you're struggling to get that even, just take your time until you can get it right. So going from, I'm going to actually play from bar 25 one more time so you can get the overall effect. Crossing over and then slowing, picking it up. Let the left hand sing out a bit here because it's tenuto. So those lines over the notes, you just give the note its full value. Make sure this last bit is nice and soft there. We don't want, you know. So here we go from bar 27 actually. New pedal here. Whoops. And as we get to the end, similar left hand to earlier. I should also point out, obviously we've got a treble clef coming in bar 33, so be careful about that. You know, you might just read it wrong, just be careful there. So bar 31, then we've got bar 32, the next bar is actually higher in the left hand, 5 and 3 on F sharp and D, okay? Then really soft here. Slowing down as well, can really take your time. And then this rather sinister last chord. So let me talk to you about that. We've got B flat, G and F sharp. That's the left hand part there. The bar before the last bar there. That's the sound. So you could even practice the left hand from bar 35. Just all the left hand on its own there. Repositioning, and then suddenly this last chord. So the F sharp with the third finger is in both those last two chords, F sharp and D, and then that final chord also with F sharp. Okay, so I'm going to play the last few bars again. Rit means just slowing a bit. And we're keeping the pedal down and travelling to the A down here. And just waiting, treating it a bit like a pause so it sounds nice and final. The A there is not the bottom A on the piano, it's the A above. So I hope what I've talked about there will give you some things to think about when you're learning it. Good luck, and hopefully see you on one of the next videos I'll do. Okay, take care for now. Bye for now.